a naive outburst from a man who, of course, intelligent young man who also has, of course, ply this particular trade before, the pen pushing trade of journalism, and one is expected that he should be able to display or to, comport himself in a way that it will not be questionable. This is after a major games like the Olympics. You are coming out to request for something, maybe a blueprint, or giving 2-week ultimatum on how to prepare for Rio. Is Rio synonymous to sports development? Yeah, categorically he said Rio. So I'm taking him up on that. Is Rio synonymous to sports development?
No, you're talking about sports development.
Exactly.
Well, our major concern, let me tell you, I will always go back. In Atlanta 96, the British team got only 2 medals. They went back home and started planning. Subsequent Olympics, they started winning. 2 in 2000, 6 in 2004, 9 in 2008. Now they want 29. You start planning. See, what the minister has just done is to set an organogram that will take us there. If we don't start now, how are we going to get it right? I'm surprised that the way you started. If tomorrow all of us will still blame the same minister to say we could not win any medal, and the man is talking. What you should do now is.
We should commend him, celebrate him.
No, bring the associations together now to say, submit your proposals. Let us see what we can do. You start from there. While preparing for 2016, we get every other thing right.
Okay.
It is the process of preparing. For example, the sports festival is November.
Part of the statement why the man was in London that we were going to look at the sports festival.
That is it.
We have had issues.
You know where
with the sports
where I want
already.
Nigerians to complain is
the man,
if after 2 weeks, after the submission of the and things are not followed up. This man I know, the minister I know, will follow it up. And once we follow it up, what we should do is go to the private sector and to get money.
Of course, the man
He just came in. Don't forget, he just came in. We shouldn't criticize him now.
We all agree on that. Okay, the minister has the respect of both of you and the house. Okay, fine. The issue is, why do you think it was wrong? Is it not those people the federation are supposed to prepare for this, for you? Why do you say it's use the word major?
Of course, that's what he's preempting. Okay, are you saying that all along they've never prepared, they've never submitted any documents?
He's asking you.
Because you should ask questions.
It's the normal thing. After every Olympics, what the minister just said is not new. After every Olympics, you submit your proposal. But this time around, this is a man who wants to actually oversee what will happen now. See, the problem we've already had has not been NSC or has been the associations. Those days, chairmen would go all out to get sponsors to sponsor their championships. Brian Ayonete for some time in this country personally carried boxing, and at the end of the day, we knew what we won in boxing. But at the end of the day, we have
those days.
That is it. We start from somewhere. That's what the man is saying now.
You people are very quick to tell us that go and look for sponsorship, as if it is something you just go on the street and you can't. In those days, it's different from what we have.
Jide asked a question. Can you answer the question?
Yeah.
He said it's going to the tournament synonymous with sports development.
Yes.
Okay, how can you clear
in an attempt to prepare for 2016, you don't do it in isolation. In an attempt to prepare for 2016, you carry everybody along.
Right.
That is just the truth. That is it. Who are you going to prepare? Who are we going to prepare?
A plan which has been there all along.
No, let them submit now.
It's just like, let me say,
maybe you don't understand that plan we're talking about. Excuse me.
This is just the same as what we have had in the
it's like
past.
we are coming into the studio
Okay,
now.
you are trying to tell me that in the past we never had.
Ken will tell us, let me see what you have. It is normal.
You are trying to tell me that in the past we've never had programs?
We've had programs.
Then we should be talking about execution. That is what the man should be talking about.
All I said was that it was good. He came out with it now. Let us see the programs they have. Then you now mandate the associations. Mandate the chairman of the association. Mind you,
stating the obvious. Must the man state the obvious?
He has to.
Just for,
let me tell you,
in this
country,
wants to play to the gallery by stating the obvious.
It is better to manage animals than to manage human beings. You have to push them to the world to get what you want.
Can we take it this way? Now, he said something. he went back to Bray Ionete in boxing, and then we've had, I think in rugby and also maybe,
you have so many of them.
There are people where the board have set up. Okay, let us, before we look at the minister's ultimatum as it is, whether it is right or wrong, I want to ask you this: are you satisfied with the performances of the federation, of the board, or the various boards?
No, I'm not.
Now,
the ultimatum, but they've always had programs.
Okay,
they've always
they've always had programs.
Nobody will say he's been satisfied with what the federations are doing.
It was obvious that the federations were no longer organizing. Let me even tell you before I continue. Okay. For some time now, we've not been organizing competitions.
Yeah, definitely.
It's only festivals.
That's what I'm saying.
But do you blame the ministry for that? That is association chairman to go out. Those days, I was a member of Nigerian Volleyball Federation. What we usually do to go out, see for sponsors.
Okay, but who is it? Not the same NSC that constituted this same board?
Okay, let me tell you.
Wait, you are beginning to open up some things.
9 billion.
All right.
That 9 billion is for salaries, for NFA of activities, other activities. At the end of the day, the money that will be accrued to association will not be enough to organize competitions.
All right.
Why are you checking? Let me tell you, in 2009, the issue of concession of sports came in. What was the idea?
The idea was the idea of the federation. That was the idea of the sport ministry.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me
why was it there?
Do you know that the concessional thing? There was one of the concessional things.
Let me still ask you this. There is also the condition that these associations will have their tenure will expire in another 2-3 months.
No, when the minister
concessioning,
brother, this is what I was not talking about.
Rugby
association. Okay, he's talking about those. Definitely, election will be held immediately after every Olympics. Yeah. He's not talking about this now. If anybody is coming on board, and that person will be aware that
the roadmap. Is there anything wrong with that? That they set a roadmap that this guys okay, fine. Let us check out for those who did not go, for those who went. Let's put it on paper. The plans you have. Like some of the associations have said they've done that.
Okay.
I think it is.
He said something. He said in Seoul, he was trying to take us back to where, Atlanta. That we got about 2 goals. Nigeria got I'm sorry. Comparing our performance then with what England or Great Britain did then, they nothing really changed. They asked themselves the questions. We've always had the fundamentals. We've always had, but all we need to do is just to push, to make sure that we enforce and execute.
We're able to push money. Okay. Money. That's where the issue of money comes in. They push. Okay, let me tell you now.
You also spoke about the sports lottery. You spoke about the
British government came out and said £120,000, £120 million every yearly. Annually for the next 4 years.
All right.
What have we budgeted now? Nothing.
We have always.
It is not enough for
we have always budgeted something.
What I wanted you to say.
That's the issue. We have always budgeted something. How do you push?
Okay. Okay.
All right. You talked about the sport lottery. He's talking about the same funding thing where money is going to come from.
That is
it. Before we look at, I will just ask you at home. My producer says yes. The lines will be open right now. So if you want to make your contribution, if you want a part and parcel of this discussion, if you want to look at the minister's ultimatum and look at whether the federations need to sit up or push out, then let us hear from you.
Like I was saying.
Okay. Before I'm still coming to you.
Ken, you are aware of some of the politicking that usually takes place at this particular the relationship between the NSC and some of this federation. Some of this chairman, president, or whatever you call them, they are stooge. They are just hangers on around most of these. And you are supposed to regulate. If they don't like you, you are aware that most in the NSC or whatever, if they don't like your leadership or they don't like you would like.
Once you are elected,
remember you and I were in this country. That's it.
Every 4 years you are elected. Once you are elected, whether they are stooge, I wouldn't know. Once you are elected, you have 4 years.
Okay, but you agree that they regulate. Do you agree that they are supposed to monitor? They are also supposed to regulate.
But because
if you regulate, do you think you will by now be talking about there's no competition?
To pay salaries and do other things and to give to
if you monitor
and
all right, okay. Now this minister has them in 2 weeks. Let me have
that is it
documentation.
Okay,
and also we are aware that this some of these board chairmen or may not be coming back because at least the minister came in just about 2 months before the Olympics, which means he did not bring in this board at all. I mean, are you saying?
You know that you are saying that he will bring his own board?
No,
be careful.
What the discussion now is advising the minister now. those that will come on board are those that can help the associations. Since we now know that government will not bring that,
how will this document they say they are bringing going to help those who are going to come in?
Definitely, with these documents, let me tell you,
yes.
if they submit these documents according to the minister now, they will work on it and follow it critically.
All right.
Those coming on board will not be told. See, for example, if I were to be the minister, the first thing I would do is every 3 months, that is quarterly, we must organize a competition. That means 3 competitions in a year.
In the past,
by doing that, you discover athletes, hidden athletes. It's not enough to just wait now. Because no funds.
The athletes they want to discover now are those ones. Is there enough in 4 years to prepare them for Rio?
It might not be enough.
Okay.
See, when we say Rio is not just the main thing. 2020 will be there. Then you start. I give you an example. After we failed in 1980, Moscow 80, the chairman then came up with organogram, which worked out. In quarter 85, so many people were Tina Iragwan, Mary Onyali, British Otondu, Feti Dere, and all. Falida Tugunkoya were discovered. By Kenya 87, we already reaping this. What we've lost in the past. By Barcelona 92, we won. See, they won bronze.
That's to show that we have the fundamentals in place there.
That's the immigration.
So what now? The question the minister should say is that how I think the minister should look inward. He should ask the question: have we?
What question should the minister ask?
Instead of asking that for us, these people to submit their programs, which we all don't know, they are always.
We have to start from somewhere.
Are we monitoring?
Let me ask you this.
Regulating properly?
If the minister says let each association, we have about 31 associations also, and then it's okay. You all bring your documents, and then they bring it to the ministry, and then they now sit down to harmonize this. We don't all form a document or a roadmap to Rio.
It's not with bureaucracy.
It's not with bureaucracy.
It's not with bureaucracy. You know why we are suffering now?
Okay.
In the 80s, the athletes discovered Onyali and Co.
Yeah.
They are the ones we used until they faded out.
Okay.
Nobody was discovered in the 90s. Early 2000, nobody was discovered.
We are complacent.
But at the end of the day, let me tell you, if Adamu, in his wisdom, has followed what Akioye did, by now we would have been reaping what we have sown. This president, but what they would have done,
we have a caller. Okay.
All right.
Hello, Yusuf.
Hello.
How are you, Yusuf?
I'm fine.
Go on. You are on.
Hello,
go on, Yusuf.
Yeah, what I will achieve, what I was trying to say here, to say about this issue is that let the Nigerian committee on this Olympic issue, let us start preparing now. So that by 2016, when we reach to the Rio, we know that we go there to win golden medal, not to come back like the way that we went to this Olympic in London, that we come back with nothing.
Yusuf, sorry, you didn't tune down the volume of your TV set, so it is echoing. Can you tune it down a little bit? Take it down. Kill it.
Hello?
Aha, go on. Now we can hear you very well.
What I'm trying to say is that I want the Nigerian Olympic Committee to start preparing now.
That's what the minister did now.
So you support what the minister said, what the minister is doing? All right, thank you, Yusuf. Yusuf, what is wrong? We should say instead of waiting 3 months to the 3 months to Rio.
He has said right even before they left.
Yes.
I remember when we were there when the NOC was handing to the federal government. Or the federal government, as ably represented by the minister, were handing over the athletes to the NOC.
Yeah.
The minister said this is the time. We didn't even know what was what was ahead at that time.
Okay.
So the man said, good thing. We're looking forward. We're looking ahead and all that. But I'm saying that they should concentrate on their own area. They should concentrate on
which is their area now, Jide?
Which is they should monitor. We have the programs there.
That is what the minister has just done.
Okay.
It's just submission.
How do you monitor?
Is not
when you submit. See, if I don't have the program, I cannot follow you up.
Okay,
you understand me? He has asked them.
The ministry
we can only
it is the ministry that will construct infrastructure. Are they the ones that will be doing infrastructure?
This is from the Dr. Patrick Owagbale of the Nigerian boxing. Okay, we have a call on the line. Let's take the caller first. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Hello, Kabiru.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Good afternoon, sir.
Tundan, can you bring down the volume of your TV set? Hello, Kabiru. All right, go on. All right, let's hear you. Kabiru is off. Okay. Probably do call back. We're talking here about the Secretary General. Let me just take that.
Okay.
He said the roadmap to 2012. He said, thank God that the Honourable Minister has just summoned us and we have talked with him, that he knows our position. You get it now. He said we have been given an assignment to go back and articulate these things in writing. One of the things we'll do is talk about technicalities. So, there are also somebody who is saying, who are already in cinch
with what
the minister is saying. Exactly. That this is okay. They already have a plan. Now they will just put it as a document and give to the minister.
That is it. The technicalities you and I know, which is going to be the role that will be played by the ministry or the commission. You don't expect the federation to build infrastructure, right?
Okay, of course.
You are not.
Wait,
you don't expect the federation. These are the area of regulation and all that.
Let me tell you, infrastructures are already on ground.
No, I beg to differ.
All we need is to develop on them. As I'm talking to you, stay there. As soon as, first of all, what we are saying now is, first of all, what the minister has done now is the right thing first.
Okay.
Submit the proposal.
A majority of the athletes that we have in Nigeria, most of them train at the national stadium there.
Is it not part of government infrastructure?
That's what I'm saying. What is there?
Is the government, is the minister addressing, apart from getting this document, will the minister address the problem of infrastructure? That is what he's asking.
If you know Bolaji Akinyemi, if you know him to the minister, you know he's somebody who wants to work.
Okay, Abdullahi.
He's our colleague, Abdullahi. He's somebody who wants to work. And with this now, I know the kind of human being he will work.
Let me tell you.
The only thing what we need is to cooperate.
We have had rather most of the ministers we have had, their first port of call anytime they are appointed is this national stadium. They come to have a war press conference.
I thank God you said those are
they will come.
But this time around, let's give him the benefit of doubt.
He's also been there.
The problem he's
been there too.
Wait, let me tell you. The problem they've been having. As soon as they visit that place, next day they are removed.
Has anything changed there?
Let me tell you.
Has anything changed there?
If you are made the minister today, tomorrow you visit national, so next tomorrow you are removed. That will work. That has been our problem.
That's what I'm saying. The man is already articulated. That's also part of it.
Okay, let me just talk to Jide. Jide, what is your roadmap? If you disagree with what the minister has just done, how do you think it could have, been done better than what the minister had said? Give me documents to work so that we can move from there.
I think the problem we have in sports generally, because I'm having a holistic view, not zeroing on or just looking at Rio.
Yes.
I'm thinking of is that there has always been the problem of we've lost confidence in the setup generally. Okay. I'm speaking the minds of Nigerians, and I know the issue of corruption, and of course, do we have the infrastructure and the funding? If you say, most times people are quick to tell us that we should go to the private sector as if that is the conduit pipe which you can just get money.
Let me take you on that too. Australia for the first time didn't go to the private sector. But it performed woefully in London.
All this why that's what I'm saying. There must be confidence. It's not about
we need the private sector to survive.
They must have confidence in the system. These are what we should be looking at first.
Okay, how do you get confidence? Like I told you something now.
We came out
in 2003.
Can I put the same? I want to put the same question I put.
The concept was killed
to him. What is the roadmap? You are supporting the minister's position. What is the roadmap? How do we get something out of this?
Fine. Yeah, started well now. The next thing is, those coming on board now should be those viable human beings that can, on their own, seek for sponsorship. We cannot go to 2016 without the private sector. Then another one is for the government to release our 20 billion sports lottery fund. Let them release it and start camping immediately after the sports festival. Those discovered, if those in long distance races, take them to Kenya. Those in athletics, take them to the US. Those in swimming, take them to Australia. Boxing should go to Cuba, while weightlifting should go to Bulgaria. At the end of the next 4 years, we'll come out with something.
All
so
right.
let us not blame people now. Let us plan ahead.
30 seconds, let's go.
Ken, what else can I say? I've heard what Authority has been saying since I was born. And I don't think I've heard up. I just don't want to talk about it.
All right, doesn't want to say anything. Authority says the minister is on the right path by giving or asking them to, submit a working document. Give it to us in 2 weeks. We don't say prepare for you in 2 weeks. We said give us something so that we can know your intent. I think for those who come to the federations, my colleagues and each and every one of us, we owe it as a responsibility to look at the federation, because they are the father, they are the people who look at sports internally. If you are asked to submit a document, they don't say make a miracle in 2 weeks. Get those documents ready. And then Jide is still skeptical. He says he has been hearing this before, but let us say that it will not be business as usual until we reach your way again. I remain sincerely yours, but Ken Ochonogo, and I tell you this: have a palava free week. Remain blessed. Yes, good afternoon. We are away from London for now because we are in the US. Before we meet again by next week, Wednesday, for Sports Palava, we would have had a new US Open champion. It is the Grand Slam, the last Grand Slam of the year. And they have 4 World Cups anyway in tennis. So unlike football, they have 4 World Cups. They have one in Australia, they have another in France, another one in England, and this one in the US. It's the US Open. And we are looking, Nadal is not there. He has only been a permanent fixture here. He was a champion here 2 years back, two US Open ago. But now we are looking at one man. He has never won a Grand Slam, but he did win at the Olympic gold. The man they call Andrew Murray. Can he go one step further? He has played about 3 Grand Slam finals or so, and he had lost all. He had lost about 2 to Federer. He has lost to Djokovic. He lost the US Open. He has lost the Australian Open. He has lost even at home in Wimbledon against Federer in a match that people said, "Oh, could he have gone in that way?" But he had his revenge, during the Olympics and won the gold. And people said, now he can win the big one. But the truth remains that Federer has gone back to form. And whether we like it or not, because they are both on the same side of the draw, which means the semi-final will be, if both of them skill through, will be between Murray and Federer. But we are looking at Federer, Andy Murray. Can Andy Murray, can he win his first ever slam? Or will he remain a nearly man? My name is Ken Ochonogo, and this is Sports Palava. And I have them in the house, the tennis experts and the Federer man. So how do we go about it? I want to start. I'm not going to start actually with Jimmy. I'm going to start with Jide. Jide Alaka, how are you?
Good afternoon.
I will try as much as possible to be impartial today in this matter.
Murray can win.
Okay.
But like everything in sports, it's not 100% guaranteed. But everybody knows on the sets, on the tour, the tennis tour, that Murray has the best shots of any player. What determines you win is more than what kind of shots you can produce. It depends on your that day charisma. But like some people would like to say, I'm very sure these are Federer's fans who said he gave Murray the gold medal. But that was how good Murray was on that day, that he made Federer look plainly pedestrian.
Now I am going to Jimmy. Jimmy, you had his last words. How good Murray was on that day that he made Federer look pedestrian. And, okay, why do you think Murray cannot take it?
Good afternoon to my
Jimmy.
fellow gladiator.
Yeah.
Good afternoon to our listeners too. I actually feel that there's not much to say. We all know who this particular person that we are talking about. You called him, I don't want to call him that name. You called him something before coming to the studio, and I actually feel that is derogatory. You said
it's just an acronym.
Okay, fine, let me just say it for the benefit of people that were not there. How can you call him a goat?
I said greatest goat.
Hey, but the truth of the matter is this: he's the greatest of all time.
But that's not the discussion here.
That's not
the discussion.
Is
Murray going to beat him?
The most important thing is
Murray going to beat him this time around?
And
Do you agree that Murray
might not even go past his next opponent.
Cilic.
Murray Cilic.
Okay.
The reason is not
and
far-fetched.
Federer might not go.
The reason is not far-fetched.
And Federer might not go past his next opponent.
Well, if you consider the fact that Roger Federer has already notched up 34 semi-finals, then you should.
You know, history is always in the past.
Okay.
We're talking about the future here.
Okay.
They've not played. What we're saying, head-to-head, Murray boasts a better head-to-head record against Federer.
I'll ask you this very honest question. You have said something on this set before. You called Andy Murray a British slimy. Now you are defending Andy Murray. Do you think Andy Murray has come into his element enough to defeat the greatest player that's ever touched the racket?
It doesn't matter whether he's the greatest player or not.
Okay, I'll tell you something. You might not have known.
Muhammad Ali was.
You might not have known. In January, I said something categorically, like an octopus, like the oracle. I said, look, Roger Federer might be number 3 today, but I tell you, by the time Wimbledon is over, he will be back at number 1.
All things not being equal.
All things became
Nadal
equal.
not being in the picture.
But you have to apart from Nadal.
Taking Nadal out of the picture.
Well, taking Nadal out of the
picture.
Yes,
you know that. Taking Nadal out of the picture.
Well, it depends on how you want to look at it.
It depends on number 1.
It depends on how you want to look at it. But let's be factual. Djokovic had a fantastic year last year. He's not been able to come into his element.
No, Federer is having a fantastic year.
Yeah, because he's won 6 titles already this year.
But no Grand Slam.
He's won. Roger Federer has won the Wimbledon.
We don't call that
that's his own property. Thank you. Now he's saying something that I'm confirming. Now, are you telling me that there's any living player right now that has won more?
Jimmy.
When a player comes on the court, there's something called the winning swagger that he brings, which naturally should help him.
What happened during the Olympics finals?
I'm telling you, whether you like it or not, you have never seen a situation whereby you have a combative field, like that field of Novak Djokovic, a Federer, and Murray will defeat the two of them.
Jimmy, let me ask you a question.
Okay, I'm with you.
Have you ever played sports before?
Yeah, I've done.
You know that even in training, great players don't like getting beaten.
I do.
So no matter how you say it, no matter how you polish it, Murray whipped Federer in the finals of the Olympic final. True or false?
Whether you want to say it is a conspiracy or not, I'm not even going to bother myself about the Olympic gold.
Did you watch the match?
We are talking of Grand Slams here.
Did you watch the match?
How many Grand Slams has he won, Andy Murray, for you to believe that he can win when you have a 17-time winner?
How many gold medals has Federer won.
Before Nadal won in 2008, nobody ever reckoned with gold medals.
No, I'm asking you a question now. No, answer it for
Okay,
the how many gold medals?
Nadal won in 2008, please.
John Bob.
Agassi has won it.
Okay, Agassi. But before
yeah,
how many
it's among the
marquee
greats.
players? How many marquee players had
Okay,
won
all right,
Olympic
okay,
gold
but
medals?
he's saying here that it's like when it comes to the great
That's what we're saying.
that Murray chickens that he can't like he doesn't have the man.
You know, that is why
He doesn't have that mental sagacity.
it is why it's so succinct.
Okay.
That it was on the same court.
Yes,
Where
that-
Federer beat him for the Wimbledon finals. That he beat him for the Olympic finals.
Did you hear that?
That is why
Take it as a gift for me. Why has he not been able to come into his element?
You can say anything
He went
you
to
like.
Cincinnati. What did he play?
He was
went to
injured.
Toronto.
He was injured.
He's always feigning injury. We all know
He's
that.
always feigning injury.
Yeah, he feigned back injury.
Do you know that there are two nerves that are missing from his knee?
You
don't know that?
Let him replace it.
Replace it with what?
I don't know. I think after he said
That is why he
that
falls
is his
injured.
excuse.
It's not an excuse. It's a physical evidence. Because he grew up too early and grew tall.
That brings out the
two nerves
greatness of
are
Roger
dead.
Federer. It brings out the greatness of Roger Federer. Roger Federer is someone that works on his wellness, his fitness, his health regime. He knows when to play competitions and when not to play. He will tell you, I'm resting for this competition, I'm not playing. And that is why he has won 6 titles.
Jimmy, let me ask you. Jimmy, let me ask you this. I know that Federer knows when to play and don't know when to play. Who was the first man to cry? In the Grand Slam when he was beating in black and blue.
What has crying got to do with
No, you say he knows when to play and when to win. Did he know when to play and win?
Everybody can cry.
What he wants to say is that
Yes.
he knows when to win. He knows when to cry too.
Okay.
Yes, he knows when to cry. If you want to say
It's
that.
all right.
But the most important thing is, let's look at this. He has totally dominated the sport. We should not be talking about any other athlete. When he's the greatest athlete of all time. In my own
The good thing
opinion.
about sports.
Yes.
The good thing
2003,
about sports is that if you don't
2004.
have credible opponents.
Yeah.
Nobody will call you great.
But let me ask you this.
Are you saying that Djokovic is not a credible
Federer
opponent?
has 5 US Open already.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what is the greatest you can get off there. Is this also not his tough, just like Wimbledon?
And he's going for the 6th.
Ken, I'm
Yes.
not going to be talking about toughs here.
Okay.
What we're talking about, what I
His
wrote,
current
what I wrote, he has said something which I agree with. It depends on your charisma on the day.
Okay.
If Federer brings the Olympic final charisma, he will get beaten.
And I will bring you back to that particular situation. Roger Federer had always been, he had always been the one that the Brits always celebrated because he was always winning at Wimbledon. He was more or less like a British man. At that point in time, he had already defeated Andy Murray at Wimbledon. He felt that, okay, fine. I mean, it would just be classless of me.
what
Yeah, you do some very particular.
Jimmy.
I don't want to go into that.
Jimmy is bringing insinuation.
Jimmy,
Let me ask you a question.
Jimmy,
The greatest players,
Yes.
any
Okay.
sport, they do not even like getting beaten in training.
answer that.
It does not matter. What we are saying is this. This is someone that has won, has seen it all.
They are not-
Jimmy,
they are
we
not-
have seen it all.
they are not the
Jimmy, let me ask you this.
Malaysians.
I ask him.
Did you bet on Federer losing?
Hello, Jimmy.
Did you bet on Federer losing the Olympic finals?
Definitely.
You bet on him
I
losing?
knew in my mind of minds after
Okay,
that.
thank you. I know you are the
He gave
octopus.
it to him.
I know you are
It
the
was a
octopus.
gift.
He asked you
It was a
question.
gift to the queen.
Can you answer my question?
So
Okay,
what
I
I'm
will.
saying, Ken,
Answer
before
my
you
question.
ask the question, I want to say that I believe that also this year, Federer may give the US Open to him.
All right, okay.
What would be his excuse?
Okay, let me ask you. Let me ask you.
This is very simple.
Can I
This is very
tell us?
simple.
Hello,
It's a conspiracy
gentlemen. Can
theory.
I ask a question? Leave this conspiracy. Let us come out to the board.
Okay.
I'm asking you, head to head, whether Wimbledon or any other place, who is ahead?
It's Murray.
Andy Murray 9,
Andy Murray 9.
Federer 8.
Good.
And on what offs? Which competitions?
That is, you answer me.
That's exactly what we're talking about. 500 points competition. We're talking of someone that knows how to win 2,500 points. How many points does Andy Murray have right now?
You know what?
How many points? I'm asking you. How many points? He's got probably 7,000 points.
You don't
And
even know.
How many
You're
points has he
asking me.
got?
How many points does Federer have?
11,000 plus?
He has 9,706.
No, you're wrong.
It's right.
Okay, if he's got 9,000 points.
What is the difference? What are you talking
Let me
about?
ask you one question.
Jimmy,
Let me ask
it's
you one
not about
question.
points here. You said he doesn't know about.
It is about points.
He said he doesn't know about winning trophies. He
Okay.
doesn't know about winning the
Okay.
Grand Slams. But I tell you, it takes one competition to change all that.
Okay.
And I believe the Olympic final.
Jimmy,
has
Jimmy, let me
changed
ask him.
Why
I want
do
to
you
ask
say
you this.
so?
I want to
He
ask
has
you.
already played 2 competitions after that. He's
And he
won
retired
one.
injured.
Yeah,
He retired injured for the
okay,
second
Andy
one.
Murray has not been playing
Can I
fantastically
ask the
until
questions?
against
Can I ask the
Daniels.
questions,
Yeah.
please?
And he
I wanna
beat him
ask the
black and
questions.
blue.
Jide, I want to ask you this. What do you think, that has changed in Murray, physical and psychologically,
Now-
that you think that will make him
not
say
even
he's
psychology-
coming
I'm
here and can pick it?
Yeah, for the games,
Yeah.
for his game. what I think I see, I saw it. He can talk about this conspiracy theories till the earth turns whatever. What I see is that Murray has dismantled Federer's backhand. He's the only player on the tour now that Federer is not very confident to send that his backhand to.
Okay. Based on what? Based on Wimbledon
over the last 3 matches, I've watched both of them play together. I've seen Federer trying to change his game from that backhand.
One of the three matches. Yes. And now, can we go back to him sending him on errands?
Excuse me. I want to ask you backhands. What is Jimmy? Can we? Let us put this question. You watch the Wimbledon final that Murray lost to Federer.
Yes.
Do you think that it was not close, that he wouldn't have won that match?
He would not have won that match.
Okay, let me
what do you think? What do you think separates Roger Federer? 3-1. It was 3-1. He won the first set. Now, what do you think separates Roger Federer from the rest of the bunch?
Let me give you this analogy.
There's a big gulf.
Give you the analogy.
I'm telling you.
The time that Federer beat Nadal, that final, that he beat him in 5 sets, that people thought, oh, this is the highest that Nadal could get to Federer at Wimbledon. The next year, what happened?
Well, whatever happened does not matter because of the fact that Nadal came.
Why don't you like?
You know what? You are trying to ask questions.
I'm giving you an analogy, like the one that just.
I want to give you my cross analogy.
All right, answer the question first.
I don't have to answer your question.
Hello. I know. You're seated. You want to join us at home? The lines will be right there on the set, and then let us know. Do you think that Andy Murray can go the distance this time around? He has never done it in a very, he has always get into the finals and never get beat.
He doesn't have that mental toughness. He doesn't have that sagacity to do what he thinks.
I will send you out of this set if you interrupt me. I have my cards.
Intact.
Okay. So, do you think that Andy Murray has what it takes? He's always gotten there, got beaten. Always gotten there, got beaten. And he's got Ivan Lendl and said, this time I can do it. But no, he did not do it. But somewhere along the way, everybody lost hope. He came up and won Wimbledon. What is your take? But the great one, 17 Grand Slams he has. He has won everything apart from the gold in the Olympics. And that is, he must pass through Roger Federer before he can do that. And that is why the heat is on. I want to tell you this. Now that he has that psychological advantage, I can beat Federer in a final. Forget whether it is a Wimbledon final or what I did.
Or a 500
Don't you think that gives yes? Now I can repeat it.
Let's look back from where Roger Federer had picked his career from.
Okay.
Roger Federer successfully made the likes of Marat Safin, Leighton Hewitt, and Roddick. He sent them out practically from the scene because he so dominated the sport. He's still dominating at this age and time. You can imagine he's still number one at the expense of so many other younger players. Now you're talking about Andy Murray. What is his age? What is his age compared to Novak Djokovic? He's already had 5 Grand Slams, and you're talking about Andy Murray. You're talking about someone that has been making quarterfinals. Whereas you should be talking about people that have made semifinals, won the slams. I should not be talking about Andy Murray, for crying out loud. I'm telling you, Andy Murray is someone that you call a British climbing, and I so much agree with you because he doesn't have that mental sagacity, he does not have that toughness. But because he won on home turf, it's not enough for you to say that he will defeat Roger Federer. They are not on the same plane. You are not being objective. They're not on the same plane. Roger Federer is number one because he has been so tough.
I can change my mind on anybody.
No, like, you're not being fair to Roger
somebody
Federer.
We know changed his mind on El Hadji Diouf.
Okay.
Called him the rat of the gutter.
Yeah.
And then signed him.
Okay.
To help his club to promotion. Let's forget about that.
Okay.
Let me just ask you a question.
Okay.
Did Roger Federer fall down from heaven?
What is that to say?
He started winning one day.
Yeah, and he stopped winning sometime.
Jimmy.
Okay.
That's the question I'm asking.
with you.
He started winning one day. And it just takes a day.
When are you going to end the dominance of this man?